Alright guys, and today I am going to be ranking the Bat family, and I chose a list that said Bat family and extras. And when they say extras, they mean it, because some of these characters are definitely nothing to do with the Bat family and barely in any Bat family related stories. But saying that, maybe I want to talk about a few of them, because hell, it's always fun to talk about DC characters. And as you can see, it's quite a big list of characters, so we're going to jump right into it, but I just want to point out my ranking, which is the best of the best, a true knight, which means it's, you know, pretty high up there, a hero, which is certified hero. And means they're just okay, or not really for me. The worst means I don't believe they're very interesting at all, or just not good characters. And not a bad family member. What the fuck? Not a bat. A bat. You ruined it, James. You ruined it. And so let's start with one of the members that I think is more interesting than she gets credit for, the Huntress. So the Huntress is really, to me, one of those on the borderline crazy killer hero vigilante things going on. So I know a lot of people love the Red Hood, and we're going to get to him, but for me, Huntress is that for me. I think she's really compelling when she has to fight with her internal thought and morale system. So she will do what she has to do to take out enemies, and she doesn't mind killing, unlike Batman. So I really like that side of her. I also think that she has some of the coolest designs, and especially lately, she's been, you know, rocking that short hair. Oh, man. Whoever did that, I love you. But yeah, Huntress is cool. She has a goddamn crossbow as a weapon. That's like 10 points for me right there. And yeah, I always really liked her because she is just the one who will get shit done, and sometimes doesn't mind getting her hands dirty. So with that, I'm gonna have to put Huntress in a true knight. I think she's one of the higher Bat family members for me. All right, so Bat Cow. Bat Cow is not a joke. Bat Cow has come in because, thank you, Grant Morrison, for creating such a beautiful character, and Damian for being such an animal lover. Bat Cow is a hero. I'm not gonna put him in the best of the best, but he's adorable. He wears a fucking look, he looks like a goddamn Robin, but in a fucking cow form. Yeah, this is a hero. Why is Supergirl on here is beyond me. I have no clue. Of all the characters that could kind of be in the Bat family or help the Bat family, Supergirl is not one of them. So yeah, not a Bat family member at all. But I do like Supergirl. And look at those thighs. Ba-boom, ba-doom. Talking about thighs, look at Wonder Woman coming in. And again, this is not a Bat family member at all. This is like super extra that do not kind of fit in. That's what the ranking list said. They kind of fit in. Wonder Woman does not kind of fit into the Bat family. I will say she has rocked Bruce's shit sometimes, so for that she gets 10 points for me. But yeah, I don't know. Something about Wonder Woman being near the Bat family just doesn't make much sense. She's just too different. So I'm just going to put her in a not a Bat family member. But as a hero, she ballin'. Gonna stop with the 2006 references, I'm sorry. Alright, so Signal. He's one of the newer characters. He was made by Scott Snyder, and he is an interesting character in the fact that he was created to be the opposite of Batman in terms of he was, you know, the bright yellow suit to fight during the day when Batman couldn't, things like that. So he's the Signal of basically hope for Gotham. I think he's one of the most underutilized characters on this entire list, which is a shame because I do think he could be a really interesting character. Saying that, he does get some time to shine recently, and I really liked him in a couple of arcs I read, especially Failsafe, where he actually did something. I won't say he's a great character or a true knight for me, but I do think he's a hero. I think he's just not used enough, and I really like that he stands for something different than most of these other heroes you see are more dark and brooding. He's more of the happy-go-lucky, and I like the yellow suit. I rock that shit, man. Let's go. Hero to save me, I'm not gonna get copyrighted by Nickelback. Alright, so Batwing. This is one of those New 52 ideas that should have stayed in New 52. I do not care about this character. I read about 11 issues of his run, and did nothing for me. And that was coming from a writer who I really usually enjoy a lot of his work. Yeah, Batwing is just kind of that character that's just it. I don't think he's the worst. I actually kind of like his design with the glowing bat symbol. But yeah, I just don't find this character all that interesting. So he's going to go in the A. You know who that is, baby. Look at him. He's fucking adorable, man. That's Bat-dog. Fuck you shit up. A hero, baby. All right, Azrael, I think. I don't have much to say about this guy except I hate his fucking face. Everything he's in, he contaminates. He's the worst. He's the worst thing ever to come out of the 90s for Batman. He's absolutely obnoxious. annoying. He just doesn't do anything to ever help. He's never, like, makes things better in a Batman story. Now, I have not read his new miniseries by Dan Waters. So I've heard that's pretty good from what I've heard, but I just can't. I can't rally behind this guy. Fuck, I hate him. He's going in the worst. You're the worst, you ugly shit. All right, so baby, we got Oracle up in this business, and Oracle is great because when I started reading DC Comics here and there, it was in the early 2000s. And I read a few more in the later 2000s, and Oracle was a really great character because she was the brains to everything. Without her, a lot of these missions wouldn't work, a lot of these operations would go wrong, and I really just loved that about her. And then they brought her back as Batgirl. And luckily, Gail Simone is the one who wrote her when she came back. And Gail Simone, if anybody could write a character reverting back to who they used to be, it's going to be Gail Simone, who put a lot of love into Birds of Prey. And it worked for the most part. However, I just don't like her as Batgirl nearly as much as I like her as Oracle. And I feel like that was just a step backwards. That was not a pun. Please don't attack me. You know what I mean. It's a saying. But yeah, she's not my favorite Batgirl by far. She's actually one of my least favorite. And yeah, I just don't think that she's all that interesting as Batgirl compared to Oracle, who she's great. Saying that, when she's Oracle, I really do like her. But since she has reverted back recently, I don't love her. So I'm going to put her in a hero, but a very high hero. She's the highest of the heroes for me right now. Because, like I said, I do like her. I do enjoy her. But I feel like they made too many wrong choices for her. All right, and coming up next is Steph. Now, Steph is, unfortunately, the one who gets screwed over a lot. So she started off as Spoiler, then she became Robin for a very short time, died, then they retconned that because they had to, and then she became Batgirl for a while. Now she's like Batgirls with Cassandra Kane, and I like Steph. I think she's a fun character. I think her no bullshit attitude is different. I think her being on the younger side of things is also a cool idea. And I've always liked both her Spoiler costume and her Batgirl costume, and even her Robin costume, so I liked all of those. Saying that, I don't think she's the greatest Batgirl when she was, but I do think she was a solid one, and I do like her as a character. I think she works really well when she has someone like Tim in her life, or when she's just working together with Cassandra. So, saying that, I do think she's a true knight, but I don't think she's quite as interesting as Huntress for me. Alright, so Batwoman. This one's going to be one that I think people are going to either say yeah or tell me to go die. And Batwoman's just okay. I think she is a hero. I do put her in that. I think she has a great design. I love her design. Not only is she frightening, and I think she would fuck criminals up, and she does, she's also quite sexy. I also really like her relationships usually, and I do think she's an interesting enough character, but her runs never really do anything for me. I've read them all. I've enjoyed them all. I don't think any are horrible, but I do think that she just never catapults past a hero for me. Like, just an okay, good enough that I enjoy the run, but never like, wow, I gotta read more Batwoman. It just never crossed my mind. Saying that, I do think she is a hero, but she's on the lower side of things. I'm gonna put her in front of the animals because these guys don't really do much, but they are pretty cool. Well, the dog does sometimes, but anyway, Batwoman, out of these three so far, she's probably my least interesting one for me. Like I said, I think she's good, but don't think she's great. Cassandra Kane is my favorite, definitely, extremely high up there. I think Cassandra Kane is the best Batgirl that there ever was, and that's why her run was pretty long. I also think she has the coolest design. I think she has the best backstory, and I think she makes sense the most to be Batgirl, or eventually she becomes Batwoman if something were ever happen to Batwoman, or Batman. But I really just think that she is the most interesting character of them all. I think her design is also fantastic. I just love it. And then I also just like her a lot. I feel bad for her, but the way she has evolved over the years and become her own person is so touching and so well done. I really enjoy it. Now, I didn't love her orphan days, which is this design here, but she is back to being Batgirl. She has that great design back. And yeah, this is the Batgirl that I love. This is my favorite Batgirl, and I'm putting it the best of the best. Boom, 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 bada, bang. So Damian is, you know, that character you either love or hate. It's really, I never see someone say like, yeah, Damian's okay. I see people say Damian's absolutely the worst Robin. He's the worst character. I hate him. Others say I absolutely love him. He's so interesting and well crafted. And I am in the camp of loving him. I think he is one of the best made characters in a long time. I think Grant Morrison brought him in exactly to be a thorn on Bruce's side, and then fucking evolved him throughout the run until his death, where Grant Morrison wanted him to die. All really well done. But Damian has grown even more after that with Batman and Robin during the New 52, all the way till now. I think he's evolved and is still evolving in the Robin solo series. So I really, really enjoy what they are doing with him. I can't wait to see when he gets his own identity, because I think he will grow out of the Robin eventually. I don't like what they did with Tim. That's another story. We'll talk about it later. But I really, really do like him. And I think he is my favorite Robin as Robin. Maybe not my favorite character, if it makes sense. I'll talk about Tim and Dick later. But I really, 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 really like Damian. And also I think he's a great counter to Batman, who doesn't do brutality or doesn't kill, and Damian will kill if he needs to. So I'm putting him in the best of the best, but behind Cassandra, because Cassandra's the best. All right, so Alfred, you're the worst. Okay, everybody just left my video. I don't like Alfred. I don't think he's very interesting, and I was never a fan of him. I like him when he plays off of other characters' interactions. So when something happens to someone in the Bat family, I like his interactions with them, or what happens to them, like when Damian died, or when Dick died, or supposedly died. But I just don't really like Alfred. He's just not that interesting for me. Now, of course, everybody's different, and I will put Alfred in front of fucking Azrael or whatever. But yeah, I just don't. He's just not a character I've ever really enjoyed, if I'm going to just be honest, and this is my list, so I'm going to be honest. All right, so we got the main man, Bruce, Batman. I like Batman. He's, you know, of course I like Batman, but I've never really loved Bruce. I actually preferred when Dick was Batman. I thought that was the best run for Batman. But I do like Bruce when he's handled well. When we see the cracks in Bruce's personality and we get to see the real Bruce, that's my favorite Bruce. Not the stoic, boring, I am the knight. Just, it doesn't do much for me. But when you see a vulnerable Bruce who's scared for his children and the people in his Bat family, that's the Bruce I like. So it really depends on what writer is writing Batman. Saying that, I really did like Batman here. I really enjoyed him in almost all the series that I've read that I enjoyed, and I think he's a true knight, but he's not one of my most interesting. I still, you know, I'd probably put him at the highest of the true knight. You know, I think he's a great character most of the time, but I just prefer other Bat family members. Jim Gordon is definitely a good character. If you haven't read or haven't been reading Joker, that is a good series, because it is really just called Joker to sell, to get people to buy the comic, but it's really a Jim Gordon series. You can also read Gotham Central. You can read a lot of stuff about Jim Gordon, because Jim Gordon is the man. Jim Gordon is the old man who is tired of motherfuckers dressing as clowns and penguins doing shit in his city. He gonna fucking murder you, and I don't blame him. But yeah, I love Jim Gordon, man. He's just had enough. He's also had like one of the roughest lives ever. You know, he lost his wife. Well, he lost his first wife, and then he really lost his other wife getting shot. And then, you know, he just has his little girl who gets paralyzed for a long time. And then he has a son who's a serial killer. I mean, Jim, what is happening, man? Go to therapy, please. But I love Jim. I do. And he is a true knight. I actually prefer him over Spoiler. But I'd say him and Huntress are like kind of tied as really interesting, really well-developed characters. And it kind of matters the story they're in as which one I like more, but they're both great for me. So lately they've been trying to have Harley Quinn be in the Bat family, and it feels so fucking weird since, you know, she's a murdering psychopath. But for some reason, when she's well-written and charismatic, I feel like she fits. I really enjoy her, and she made me laugh in a lot of the newer runs for Batman. Do I think she deserves to be in the Bat family? I don't know. But it really comes down to the whole point of Batman is to reform criminals. That's his motivation of what he does and why he doesn't kill. And if we can't do that, if we can't see that happening with a character like her or Clayface, what is the point of Batman's crusade? That's the whole point. So where she's heading and everything, I'm liking it. I don't know if I'd say she's, you know, a true knight for me, but I'd put her in a hero. I do enjoy her. and I put her right behind Batwoman. Well, you know, I put her in front of her because she makes me laugh more. I enjoy her for what she is. I don't know if I consider her a true Bat family member yet, but I do like her. So Catwoman has really come a long way for me. I've always liked Catwoman, but recently I've really enjoyed Selina just being part of the Bat family. I feel like she does care about Bruce, and I do feel like she cares about the kids too. I also feel like she's the protective mommy kitty, so she will fuck your shit up. She'll tear your face off. I like that stuff. And she's also sexy as hell. What is it called? Black Label. Her Black Label series, Lonely City, is excellent because it really just shows Selina not, you know, at the end of her life dealing with all the bullshit. So yeah, I really like Selina. I think she's great. I put her in hero though because she's not like one I just jump to reading everything she reads, but a very high hero. I'd probably put her the highest of the heroes. And that's just because I think she is a good character. Not an amazing, but a great support character. Lucius Fox. I always thought he was alright. Like, kind of like Alfred, I don't really care. I get his idea. I get that he's the brains behind all the technology Bruce uses and all that. That's kind of cool. But kind of like, you know, Batwing or whatever. He's just, Like, he's cool in some moments. And I kind of like what they're doing with his son, with the other Batman. But, yeah, I just don't. Like, if he's in the page, I'm just like, okay, let's get to the next character. So Nightwing, huge fan of Nightwing. I think his development has been great over the years. I think Nightwing's biggest problem is that he's really just trying to get out of the shadow of both Robin and Batman, and that is tough. But if any of them have done it, I would say that Dick has. He is a true knight. He is high up there. He's there with Batman for me. I'd say he's probably the highest of the true knights because when they announce new series with Nightwing and Batman, Nightwing gets my attention more than Batman. 1, because I love his design. 2, because Dick is much more likable. 3, I thought Dick was the best Batman. And 4, he's Dick, man. He's a dick. He is the Dick. The big Dick. Alright, I'm gonna stop saying Dick. Fuck is goddamn Raven doing here? What the shit? No. You know what? I'm just putting Poison Ivy here too. No, get the fuck out. All right, so we have the final 2 previous Robins with Red Robin and Red Hood. Red Robin became Red Robin after Damian came into the picture, which was great. He had his own name, his own identity, everything, and then they said, no, let's revert him back to Robin. And for a while, he was just Drake. Like, that was his name. Why would you use your name, your real name? Your whole thing is to hide your identity. What the fuck? Saying that, I liked him. I liked him because he is the one who, for me, feels most suited to be the next Batman. He is not just all, you know, warrior like Damian. He's not all charismatic and fun and lighthearted like Dick. And he's not as brutal or a little bit dumb as Red Hood. He has the intelligence, the fighting, and the planning of a detective, and that's kind of where Bruce has trained them all to be. But I feel like Tim is the one who takes that the most. That mantle, he can cover it. Saying that, Tim has been mistreated ever since a little bit prior to New 52. But what happened is that I actually liked what they did with Tim when he became Red Robin. That, to me, was one of the best Tim stories. And then New 52 fucked that up, and since then he has not really recovered fully. Saying that, I do like Red Robin, or Tim. I do enjoy him, but he's not my favorite. I do like Damian and Dick more, but he's definitely a true knight. And I put him in front of Spoiler and Jim Gordon, but not quite as high as Huntress, because I think Huntress has more dynamic moments and different style storylines than Tim does. All right, and so Red Hood is the controversial one for me. Never been a fan of Jason. Never been a fan of Red Hood that much. I think he has his place in the Bat family. I think he definitely can be interesting. I actually liked Red Hood and the Outlaws for the Rebirth a lot until he wasn't with the Outlaws and it sucked. But yeah, Red Hood is weird. Like, a lot of people love him because he's kind of a brute. He's, you know, been through hell. He's died, and that's great. However, he just never really did much for me. Would I say he's no, I'd put him in a true hero because he does have his moments, and Under the Red Hood storyline is great, legitimately a great comic. But I just don't like him. Kind of like Batwoman, where he's cool. You know, they're interesting enough characters, but they don't really do much for me personally. I don't really get invested in their storylines as much as other heroes. Saying that, I still do think these are heroes. And that is my list for the Bat family. Now, Bat family is pretty huge. Some people would consider other characters on here. Don't know why the hell Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Raven, and Poison Ivy were even on this list, but we're just going to leave it there. But I would love to see what you think. What are your favorite Bat Family characters? If you don't want to rank them all like me, you could just rank your top 5. That's always fun. But these are mine. I would say the controversial picks I have on here is putting Red Hood as low as I did, and possibly putting Damian as high as I did, depending if you like Damian or you hate him. That's just your personal opinion. But this is my list for the Bat Family. I think it's a very creative family for the most part. Some really great characters. And they always evolve and change over time depending on which writers get a handle on them and what they do with the characters. Right now, Tim is suffering through one of the worst runs I read for Tim Drake. Well, we have Beautiful Little Dick getting a lot of love from Tom Taylor and other creators. So let's see where we go with those. Or Joshua Williams doing a great job with Robin. So yeah, this is my list. I hope you enjoy. If you do, hit the like button. If you love me, hit the subscribe button. And list yours below in the comment section. Everybody, have a good day.